Inca, how are you feeling going into this final match?
I'm doing pretty well. Like watching, like as soon as the Bailey rolls up the ladder,
now, who are some of your practice partners? What are some of the? What was the biggest struggle you faced coming into this tournament? What was like the hardest round?
Well, it's definitely playing QXC. It was definitely the biggest struggle. He's a really good player. Really solid.
All right, now what are your expectations going into this final match?
I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna play my best.
Just gonna click some buttons and see how it turns out. That's an excellent plan. I too log on the internet and black out, and when I come to, I'm still in Platinum League. So, right back over here to Taylor Parsons, who is at the other end of the stage. Pain User, how are you faring this evening?
I am good. How are you, Sean?
I can't believe how much taller you are than me. I'm pretty large, but Pain User, you truly show us what it means to be a big Terran. So, tell us, what was the biggest struggle coming into this finals?
A guy from the LAN Center locally named Jobless took a game off me really early on in the tournament, and that threw me into the loser's bracket and really pissed me off. And that was probably my biggest struggle. The games against Kawhi were really tough too. He's really good.
It's very
Quick with the fingers. He has really good APM, and like his macros, very good.
And I know he has those super refined builds, and we saw him sort of come through in the end. And I'm wondering, how many live events have you previously been to?
None really. This is like my first StarCraft related or RTS related tournament.
So are you feeling the adrenaline? How are the nerves doing? Tell me about that, because I'm curious, because I used to just like choke and I would shake and I'd like vomit before the games and stuff. And I'm curious, like, well, has your experience been that? Can we relate afterwards? Can we like, get a hug about that?
Absolutely. The nerves go nuts. My hands have been shaking throughout the whole tournament. But it's like a good nervous energy. It's not like the bad kind. Like, it doesn't really mess me up.
Not like when you're going on a first date with a girl or anything? No, not like that. Yeah, it's okay. You just plan a build order for that. It's fine. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going into the final match of Inca, the Protoss superhero who somehow managed to aggressive Terran from Harvey Mudd College, Harvey Mudd King, and of course Taylor Pain User Parsons, who did manage to defeat Kawhi Rice narrowly after a few slip-ups in the early game, but playing solid through. So we will be back in just a minute for the grand finals. Thank you all for coming, and of course, thanks to Green Forest Day & Cafe for hosting us today.
Yeah!
And I'm done. See ya.
Here we go, outside, right before the start of the finals. EG Inca in there, just warming up, getting ready to go. Got Inca still getting ready.
Yes, indeed.
Taking forever.
We're going to be beginning in a little bit, but until then we just want to wait as long as possible, so that way both players are really nervous.
Can you see how? As long as it's not rush hour, in which case 20 hours.
I think he was saying it's not soundproof at all.
That's an awesome song. I went to like Soul Bang over there one time.
There he is.
All right, here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Finally,
Taylor Pain User Parsons is entering his booth right now to play in the finals against Kelby Inca Williams.
Yeah.
So, of course, before we begin the match, talk a little bit about the semifinals we got the chance to see, where we did see Inca amazingly pull a win off QXC narrowly 3-2.
That was by far the most intense 1v1 match.
Yes, seriously.
Period in StarCraft. It was in StarCraft 2, I should say. It was ridiculous, the back and forth action, the adjustments on the builds. I think Inca did a fantastic job adjusting to a very difficult opponent.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one thing to note is just how much both players did not want to expand. I mean, especially QXC kind of defined the way that the games were going to go by opening up with that 3 barracks and getting the medevacs immediately. So neither player could really expand, which meant it was like an inverted pendulum. If it just swung in the advantage to either side, that player immediately ended up winning. So it's just so tenuous and so fragile. I think Inca adjusted brilliantly.
On the other side, Kawhi Rice versus Pain User. Really intense matchup, of course, TVT, very macro-oriented, and I really feel like Pain User did an excellent job of adjusting, and he's going to need to adjust against a player like Inca.
Absolutely. So that's one thing to note. Pain User very, very shaky in those games, but great mid-game decision-making. But as we've seen, not just in this series, but in other series as well, Inca is very good at being aggressive early on. So Pain User just needs to overcome that initial hump, and I really think he'll have a nice advantage going into the mid-game. But of course, no one likes further delays. So we're going to be jumping into Game 1 of the finals between Inca and Pain User. Are there any Inca fans out there? 3, 2, 1.
Inca fighting!
Inca fighting! And of course, are there any Pain user fans out there? 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at the beautiful signs in the background. Terran is not overpowered, Pain user is. So we will be starting right now, just going to make sure that both players are good to go and then not give them a chance to answer, going directly into game 1 on Lost Temple, the canonical RTS map.
I think it's very appropriate that we're opening on Lost Temple. I think this is probably the largest StarCraft 2 tournament up to date, and it'll probably be immediately overdone by MLG and everything else that's going on. But Lost Temple, the staple, got to start it off on this.
What? No way, we're better than GOM TV. We have like over a $500,000 prize pool for this event, Ventura, California.
So good.
Well, either way, big thanks to our sponsors, of course, Green Forest LAN Cafe for hosting this event, and of course to all the wonderful participants who showed up to observe, Esports United and Intel for sponsoring this tournament. And here we are, game 1, Inca spawning in the right position as the purple Protoss, and down south we do have Pain user as the yellow Terran.
This is going to be on Lost Temple, and I really feel like it is, unlike QXC, I think Pain user will play a more typical map, will try to expose, get position across that gold expansion. It's a little bit more difficult from these positions because essentially he's going to be expanding into Inca's territory.
Yeah, definitely.
So Inca is going to have to play a really strong control game. I feel like the position is going to help him out a little bit, though.
Looks like just continuing to make probes, nothing too out of the ordinary, not sending anything out to the center of the map to try to do any sort of weird.
What I actually really love about the early Raven opening is you can deny a ton of information to your Protoss opponent. Oh, I'm going to watch the Cloaked Observer. You don't have to worry about using your concepts. You're actually salvaging a bit of your economy through a mule. And on top of that, you can do whatever you try to expand.
Now, here we do see Inca throwing down some gateways at the north main. This is a great decision because not only is it hiding warp gates, but also it's gearing up to take another expansion up here. So I love this play. Inca's expansion finishing. And look at the timing on the probe. So crisp. Also getting an Immortal to deal with any of those early pushes. We do see the Twilight Council is finished. Nothing out with it yet. And so his choice of map will
right now it's game 4 between Pain user and Inca. We're just waiting on Pain user to pick the 4th map.
He said, no, Pain user, you don't get cliffs again.
I've been having so much audio and video problems. I'm just officially quitting now because I'm tired of dealing with it. So I'm going to get back to videotaping because I know that this works. My video camera works. It's working right now, and I'm happy. It works very good. The lights on front, it works. This is working, and I'm happy with this. I don't care if the stream crashes again. I know my video camera works, and I'm happy.
I'm not sure you want to start off on a disadvantage map, but at least you know what you're going into at this stage. Do we have a choice? We are going to Junkyard. It is Junkyard, so this map, I'm so torn on whether or not I think that this is a good choice, because, I mean, it does give him the chance. Now running forward with a bunch of Zealots, this Colossus needs to be huge if he wants to be able to stay in this game. And what is with that glitch? He keeps trying to hit the Graviton beam, and it's just not doing much. Trying to pull this Colossus back is the one thing keeping him in the game. More Stalkers getting warped in, and really just target firing this Nexus would be the best decision for Pain user, as he is just continuing to rally and go.
He's lose this Nexus, he's got units just sitting in his Nexus like they're I don't know that he has any sort of new amount run out, or sorry, he doesn't have the raw production to go out and deal with things. He's constantly tossing stuff at his natural expansion. I think this is going to be GG right here.
And look, a second Colossus falls. The first Colossus falls, the second one is trapped, has nowhere to run. Inca now bringing some probes into the front, trying to kill off some of these Phoenixes, but as more Marines and tanks roll in, and Pain user is just pouring units out of all the expansions. And good game. Pain user manages to win the tournament 3-1. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found ourselves a champion. All right, so we are going to be hopping up to the main stage to talk to our second place player, Inca, and of course, our winner of SoCal number 5 at the Green Forest Cafe, Taylor Pain user Parsons. Yeah! We will be back in just a moment. Duran.
What's up?
You wanted to know who took third?
Sounds like
It's very hard.